Crest Heart Stud Earrings with the Infinity Blok. Welcome back to another episode of hand stamped jewelry making using the Infinity Blok. I hope you enjoy this. I have my Infinity Blok letter stamps, and I'm going to use these 9mm sterling silver stamping blank stud earrings. I'm going to leave more information below about all of this. So what I'm going to do is figure out my design first, and to do that I have my template. This way it eliminates a lot of trial and error on using actual sterling silver. That'll save me a great deal of time, and I can see whether or not I like the positioning. So we're going to start with that. I'm going to use just a pad of paper and put this on top. I want to use this pattern this way. So I've turned it upside down. The template has it drawn up. And the reason why I'm doing this is I haven't figured out where exactly I'm going to put my letters and whether or not I'm going to use 2 letters or 3, the full 3 initials. And one of the things is I love asymmetrical. So either I could do different initials, or in this case, I want to do a heart shape. I originally created an asymmetrical earring design with a heart and the other earring with letters. However, they didn't end up looking good together, so I created 2 separate pairs of earrings. You will see the entire design process, so stay tuned for the second video where I show you the other earrings with the initials design. Actually, I'm going to pause for a moment. I have this old business card that it's useless, and I cut a little bit of it. The reason is I'm going to try to see if it can help with a guide. So I already use tape, etc., and do my drawings, but I noticed that, you see how this is raised slightly? If I was to line it up, I could feel it this way. So in fact, I can line up this side exactly where the drawings start. So I know how to get it all lined up straight. Having this here as a guide, I could feel it as well. And I'm going to see if that will help me a lot more than just using the guidelines, because sometimes, you see, although I've painted this on the side to see where the size of the stamp is, the letter, sometimes from the side it's a little bit difficult, and it is not necessarily equal distance. See, I'm going to show you. Even though the 2 are flush at the top, the H seems a little bit higher than the C. So the idea is I'm going to tape this down so that it sticks out a bit, and I can push against it so that I know exactly where the letter starts, just from the feel, as opposed to seeing where it is along the edge. You can see from the side of the metal, as time goes on, as you get better, it becomes second nature. But I want to figure out a foolproof way of using this, some sort of guide, and we can see whether or not it actually works. The idea is this. I'm going to enlarge it. So this is like this right now, a triangle. I want to maybe do a heart. I want this to be center. I held this down. I've moved that up, and I've already got the point of the heart marked with a line, and I'm going to line that up with the tip of this. And I'm just going to mock it up to see if I like the position. And I can feel where the card is catching. Okay, so actually that's a little bit high. I'm going to show you. So I might, instead of having it start there, I might lower it a little bit. Now, instead of there, I'm going to so I'm going to put the card there. So it's a little bit lower. And I'm going to move this. Looks good, except now this line is throwing me off. So I think what I'm going to do is line it up next to it. So I like that much better. And so I know that when I put it down, I'm going to draw a line this distance from the top. Okay, so I like that. Now I'm going to see if this line for the other initials, for the C and H, will work. I have the Infinity Blok here, and I have my sandbag. Sandbag will reduce, I should say, the vibration, which causes ghosting. So you want a clean strike without bouncing. This is just, I'm rolling up some tape. I love using it because it'll just keep everything together and it's inexpensive. Oops. It's a lot easier to visualize if it is parallel approximately. Okay, it's not bad. Okay, I know that I want it a little bit lower. So I measured it. It's 1 millimeter below the top. I'm going to measure kind of like that. And then tape down, and just in case, I'm going to tape this part. So it's easier, I can just flip it open. I'm going to try doing the heart first. And I am careful to line up to the top, and then I am lined up here. It's a hard thing because I'm so strong on one hand and not quite balanced. So sometimes I tend to tilt. But what I'm going to try to do is line it up perpendicular and this way. So instead of tilting this way or that way, this way or that way, I want an even strike. And then this 2-pound hammer, I'm going to try to have one clean strike. Oops. Actually, I was tilted a bit. I hit it too hard. I'm going to set this one aside and come up with something for it later. Where I went wrong is I should have drawn the line in the middle. But the height-wise, it's not bad. So that will help me guide this, hopefully. Maybe this time I did too lightly. I'm going to show you. So this is what I have. So when I say cleaning, all it is my eye shine. It's pretty scuffed up. I've been using this for a long time. And this one removes the scuff marks, so that it looks satiny, and then the high shine. And don't worry at this point if it is somewhat warped because you've got the death grip and you're grinding on one side. If it's warped this way, once you put it back in here for the next step, you can straighten it out. The other thing that you can do is after you've cut one, put it over, mark it, and then cut the other. So I'm going to cut this one first. I'm going to set this aside and go from here. I decided to try scoring a line where I want to trim for the crest. You can use a fine marker to achieve the same thing. There's a line. I've scratched it in. All I have to do is to be very careful not to cut above the line. There we go. The sprue cutter is not flush. I'm not sure if you can see. It comes to a slight point, so it's really important that we file this. And with micro actions like this, you can get it to the exact angle that you want. Notice I'm trying to hold this hand still while moving this way, and not both. That way I can keep it straight. There you go. Actually, I'm going to use a ruler. 1 millimeter. That's right. Draw it down the middle. Hey, perfect match. Now, I'm going to do the same thing of scoring and then cutting. Making the second heart stud earring is much easier than the first because I already have decided on the design, except that I need to make sure it is level with the first and the right and left are balanced. Here are the heart crest earrings. I really like those. And I'm going to highlight the design with a marker. Here are the finished heart crest earrings. I've used a permanent marker to trace and enhance the stamping design. I like the way the curves of the heart balances against the sharp angles of the crest. And here they are being modeled by my daughter. I hope you enjoyed that. And if you did, please like and subscribe. Stones and Findings is a wholesaler of premium quality chains and findings, as well as the inventor of the Infinity Blok. I'm going to leave more information below about our company, as well as the Infinity Blok and the components I've used in this video.